in the virtual visit while the nurse was taking pictures with the camera.
A mother says she's raised red flags during virtual visits with a geneticist, only to later learn he's charged in a massive child pornography case.
Tonight, why she's speaking out and the warning that she wants other parents to hear now. Also, take a look at this moment in this video. In fact, what you're seeing right here is a fire that's in Wyoming. But what's interesting, the view you're getting is coming from the next state over. What we're learning about a pipeline fire and the investigation into what sparked this massive blaze.
We have multiple casualties.
And a wedding turns deadly when gunfire erupts inside of a country club. One man killed protecting his family. What we're learning about the suspect and the victims. To WTOL, well, 11 plus now, Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan's only live local streaming newscast. I'm Kaylee Maritet.
And I'm Jeff Smith. Great to be with you. Our top story tonight is this. A Toledo mother is speaking out after the geneticist who examined her baby here in Toledo became the focus of a criminal investigation and a lawsuit in Cincinnati. The mother says her story is a warning for parents everywhere. Melissa Andrews has tonight's story.
When her daughter Miley was born, Holly Shropshire says her ProMedica pediatrician suspected she had a genetic disorder and referred her to Dr. Howard Saul, a Cincinnati-based geneticist, for a telehealth visit.
I met him a total of 2 times. I met him in August of 24, and then we seen him for a follow-up visit in November of 24.
But she says those visits quickly raised red flags.
The thing that alarmed probably me the most was the fact that he would use his own camera in the virtual visit while the nurse was taking pictures with the camera. The other thing was that he would just be all like giddy and happy and to see her, and would just make like quirky little comments.
Holly says Dr. Saul asked to see Miley without a diaper, which didn't make sense.
So he did want her facial features. He did want to see like her limbs and everything, part of her syndrome because of what her syndrome is. And then he did get to the part where he asked to see under her diaper, and he asked for that, and he would call it his pictures. I need to get my pictures.
She even recorded him asking for those pictures.
Okay, I need to get my pictures. Hold on.
Oh, she smiled for that one too.
I need my picture.
Oh, yeah.
He did ask on both visits, which the second time seemed off to me.
Months later, she saw reports that Dr. Saul was under investigation, but says she heard nothing from ProMedica or Cincinnati Children's. Only this previous letter from Cincinnati Children's that Dr. Saul was no longer working there, and no mention of the fact that he was being investigated for child porn charges. She later found out he was charged with having more than 150,000 images and 470 videos of child sex abuse material. Some of the alleged victims are newborns.
I was so distraught. Like, that was my child, that's my infant, that's my baby. And now I don't know, at that point, I didn't know what had happened to any of her pictures or anything.
Rob Lewis is representing 2 Cincinnati families in a lawsuit against Dr. Saul and Cincinnati Children's. He says the abuse went on for 3 decades.
What we're going to focus on is, who else in the system knew or should have known what Dr. Saul was doing.
Holly is sharing her story because she believes Toledo parents need to know that their children may be victims too.
My biggest fear is that, he maybe profited off of them. He gave them away. My daughter is out there now in the world, and I don't know where any of her pictures are at.
Melissa joining us now to go a little more in depth to this story, and we're trying to wrap our minds around getting tipped on and let the viewers know how these things come about, how we get tipped off. Where did this come from?
Well, apparently, this doctor, Dr. Saul, saw patients on telehealth, as we mentioned in the story, via ProMedica. And so we've had a Toledo family, the family in the story reached out to us and said, hey, we think that other families in Toledo need to know about this doctor because surely we aren't the only ones that saw him. And in talking with the attorney that I did, they're also looking for other families who may have dealt with Dr. Saul, looking at their children, and they've had many come forward. I also know that there's other law firms that are looking into this as well.
Let's talk about, we reached out to ProMedica, due diligence there. We reached out to them. They had a response. What'd they say?
Well, I asked ProMedica, why didn't you notify this particular family that Dr. Saul was being investigated for child pornography charges when you knew that they saw this child? And they said that that Cincinnati Children's was alerting the families that had been seen by Dr. Saul, and that they were told by law enforcement that none of the children, none of the patients involved were any children that were in the images that he had.
Let's go to the next steps. Where does this go from here? The investigation, anything along those lines?
Well, the investigation is continuing from what I understand. I also know that, as I mentioned, several law firms have, at least two, have sought to civilly go after Dr. Saul, and I believe that others will join. And families, I've put the contact information for the law firm that we spoke with in the story. They're more than welcome to reach out to that attorney if they want to share their experience with Dr. Saul.
And as far as 11 investigates, we're not letting this go at all.
No, if more families want to reach out and contact us, we'll be happy to talk to you as well.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Kaylee, back to you.
All right, thanks, guys. Right now, we're tracking the stories making headlines across the country and globe. A massive pipeline fire burned so brightly it can be seen from the next state over. Plus, the FTC takes Amazon to court. What the trial could mean for your Prime membership. And Jimmy Kimmel is coming back to late night after the controversy over comments surrounding MAGA and Charlie Kirk. But first, what the Trump administration is calling a major announcement about autism.
For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy.
President Trump announced a possible link between autism and acetaminophen, which is the active ingredient in Tylenol. The claim is disputed by much of the medical community. Tylenol's maker strongly denies any connection, warning that the president's remarks could pose risks to expecting mothers. Jimmy Kimmel is coming back to late night. ABC officially announced the return starting tomorrow. The broadcast company pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air last week after backlash over a monologue about the MAGA movement's response to Charlie Kirk's assassination. And a wedding celebration in New Hampshire turned tragic after a gunman opened fire inside of a country club. Police say 23-year-old Hunter Nadeau shot 3 people Saturday night, killing a guest and injuring 2 others. Nadeau reportedly made a series of statements during the attack, but investigators have found no evidence it was motivated by hate. He was arrested within 30 minutes in a nearby neighborhood. The Federal Trade Commission's long-awaited trial against Amazon is getting underway this week. The lawsuit, filed in 2023, accuses the company of tricking millions of customers into signing up for its Prime membership while making it difficult to cancel. Amazon has denied any wrongdoing. Jury selection started today, with opening statements set for tomorrow. The trial is expected to last about a month. Well, if you're distracted, scrolling, or just not looking at your TV right now, take a moment and look at this video. Officials say a natural gas pipeline fire in Wyoming was so large it could be seen from miles away in Colorado. A Union Pacific train carrying hazardous materials was nearby when the pipeline ignited. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but no injuries or fatalities have been reported.
The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
Coming up next, Charlie Kirk's widow and a memorial following his assassination, the message and the moments that you might have missed. Also, they started as partners in a mariachi band. Now they're planning a wedding. How music turned into a love story for a pair of performers. Chris?
Higher chances of rain still out there in my forecast, but also foggy mornings going to be surfacing. We'll have a breakdown of that coming up in my 10-day forecast.
Well, trending today, the memorial for Charlie Kirk was held over the weekend. During the event, his widow, Erica, delivered a powerful and emotional message filled with both faith and forgiveness.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man. On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
You can watch the full video of Erica Kirk along with memorials from President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance right now on our TikTok page. Actor Tom Holland is recovering after an on-set accident while filming Spider-Man: Brand New Day. According to reports, the 29-year-old star suffered a mild concussion when he fell and hit his head during a stunt gone wrong. Filming has been briefly suspended, but Holland is expected to return within days. Despite the scare, Holland appeared at a charity event in London the very next day alongside fiancée Zendaya. The new Spider-Man movie is set for release next July.
I've been on hold, and now my sister is full on possessed. You know what? I will ask. Mom, was Esther baptized? No! Got it.
Guests, or rather ghosts, are checking into a new animated comedy called Haunted Hotel. The series follows a single mom and her 2 kids trying to run a cursed hotel with help from her dozens of supernatural guests. The show mixes family dynamics with classic haunted house scares. It's available now on Netflix.
Always look at your weather impact going forward this week. Is going to feature not only the return to wet weather, but foggy mornings that may show up, and it may be several mornings this week. So I do want you to be prepared. The potential is some delays, some slower travel, and it especially impacts to our area school districts. Dense fog going to be likely for several areas as we get into Tuesday morning, and we're going to monitor that for school delays, travel delays with low visibility that could drop below a quarter of a mile where that fog does persist. It really just takes a change in this now autumn weather pattern, where wet weather has returned to the area, rain that's been occurring across much of the Buckeye State, including now active severe weather that is down there toward the Ohio River, which has included some gusty winds and a few isolated storms that have shown rotation and even a couple tornado warnings. Not expected for our area that is down toward the Ohio River in the far southern edge of the state. We still do have a little bit of light rain that's occurring, but a damp feel, a more humid setting that is out there. And the last of a few showers could be moving east of I-75. Those are toward the Lake Erie shore, out toward Erie and Huron County, down into Wyandotte and Crawford County, and even parts of Sandusky and Seneca County still hanging on to a little bit of rain. What a change, though. First afternoon, now first evening in autumn. Upper 60s to right around 70 degrees is where most areas are. Now consider this, the threat of some fog to that bus stop forecast in the morning, lower 60s. By recess time, if we don't have any of those delays or any school issues, should have recess time being dry right around the mid 70s, back close to 80 as we get into the afternoon. There still will be rain chances out there Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday. Best chance of rain, and I think it's going to be a likely chance, is going to be out there on Wednesday, well over a 60% chance of rain. Rest of the night tonight, we're likely to be drying out with a little bit of clearing. That may fill the skies or at least low to the ground, some areas of fog that will develop. This is tomorrow morning. What we're seeing here on the hour-by-hour forecast, that's fog across northwest Ohio and southern Michigan. That fog should lift by mid-morning. As we get into the afternoon, we'll see some peaks of sunshine and an isolated chance of a late-day shower or storm. Next up, Wednesday morning, and this is toward daybreak. This could be a morning where we avoid fog just because we're going to have rain that's going to be occurring, rain that works into the area Wednesday morning. We'll bring more showers that look likely Wednesday afternoon, and if that system clears out, we could get some additional rounds of fog late in the week as well. So some fog possible early in the morning. We're going to watch that very close for any travel delays or issues getting out the door right around the lower 60s. We'll get that sun by about lunchtime into the afternoon. Will pop us back into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees, and a slim chance we get an isolated late day shower or storm. Right around 80 for Tuesday, 74 for Wednesday. That's going to be a day that looks likely for rain on Wednesday. Some additional showers early Thursday. We could get some additional foggy mornings Thursday and Friday. We do dry out into Friday, mid 70s. The weekend, get your autumn weekends plans set. We're in the mid to upper 70s and dry weather through the weekend and into early next week. That's a look at your 10-day forecast. Back over to you guys.
All right, thanks, Chris. For two musicians, mariachi isn't just a passion, it's what brought them together.
A bass player and a violinist. They found more than harmony on stage. They found harmony in life. Jobin Poniker shares their story.
The instruments we choose are often a reflection of who we are.
The violin is very loud and out there. He's very level-headed. He's very grounding.
From the most expressive notes to the deepest ones.
Very much like instruments, all big and round and small and skinny.
Michael Gonzalez and Cindy Cabrera play two very important but different roles in mariachi music.
They don't really coincide with each other.
Please welcome Mariachis de los Texas Rangers.
And their stage is Globe Life Field. They lead the Mariachi de los Texas Rangers.
Being the heartbeat of the mariachi and being the melody of the mariachi, they're two very important instruments for the band. We were both mariachis and we didn't even know it.
They met 7 years ago at a party. They've dated ever since.
She was gorgeous, gorgeous. Her smile, gorgeous, very gorgeous.
One plays the bass, the other the violin, on Mariachi Mondays.
I don't think we're the same person.
Opposites attract for sure.
In the near future, these two bandmates will play as one. Michael, in mariachi fashion, popped the question in January.
I loved it. It was what I would have wanted.
They haven't set the date yet, but they are in agreement on one thing, and it may be obvious.
We're gonna have hopefully a mariachi-themed wedding.
These solos turned into a serenade.
Ultimately, it's music, right?
In Arlington.
Luckily enough, we were able to find a song to make it work.
I'm Jobin Puneker.
I'm excited because this is the largest project that we've ever supported.
A billion-gallon backup for Toledo's drinking water. The new project designed to protect the city from future emergencies. The timeline and what it means for your water.
At 4 weeks now on the picket line, the strike at Libby Glass marks the longest in decades. How the community is stepping in to try to help.
And they're big and fuzzy and they're ready for a nice long nap. Fat Bear Week is back. What you need to know before this year's chubbiest champion is crowned.
You are tuned in to WTOL 11 Plus now. We are Toledo's only live local streaming newscast.
Tuning to your local headlines now. A new project is taking aim at protecting drinking water for hundreds of thousands of people in Northwest Ohio.
This has never happened before, and it's extremely important that we do this.
City leaders signed a partnership with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to build a new 1 billion-gallon reservoir. It's designed to provide up to 10 days of drinking water in case of an emergency. The project carries an estimated $13 million price tag. Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur says the reservoir marks a historic step for the city, securing a crucial reserve supply. Design should be finished by next year, with construction starting in 2027, with hopes of finishing it in 2029. A Venezuelan man police say posed as a Perrysburg school student has pleaded guilty to federal charges. Earlier today, Emmanuel Labrador Sierra admitted to using false documents and lying to get a gun. 24-year-old Labrador Sierra enrolled at Perrysburg High School using a false birth certificate and apparently later fathered a child while living in Northwest Ohio. He's scheduled to be sentenced in January.
Just into the newsroom, a Bellevue City Council member has been charged with multiple felonies. Joseph Burkhart was arrested Friday by the Huron County Sheriff's Office. Very few details surrounding the arrest are known at this time. However, we do know that he is charged with strangulation, burglary, menacing, tampering with evidence, and assault. He is scheduled back at court next week. Union members at Libby Glass in Toledo are still walking the picket lines right now. Today marks the 4th week for the strike for United Steelworkers. The union also hosted a donation drive to help families losing pay while they're off the job. All donations go directly to those impacted workers. The strike marks the longest labor dispute at Libby since 1974.
A Toledo fire and rescue captain is suing the city and several department leaders alleging discrimination and harassment. Captain Kameko Goolsby is the department's first black female captain. She claims she faced repeated investigations, bullying, and harsher discipline than white or male colleagues. The lawsuit also accuses the city of retaliation after she reported discrimination, creating a hostile work environment. The city of Toledo said the Ohio Civil Rights Commission previously reviewed the same allegations and determined that it was not probable that the city of Toledo or the firefighters named in the lawsuit engaged in any unlawful discriminatory practices.
10 Great Danes have been surrendered from a West Toledo home after police say one of them bit a man over the weekend. Officers were called to Alexis Road after reports of several dogs roaming the neighborhood. Now, one of the dogs reportedly bit the caller in the leg. Police followed the animals back to a home on Renwood Road where the owner gave up 3 adult Great Danes and 7 puppies to the dog warden. Well, thank you so much for being with us here on WTOL 11 Plus Now. It is, as we said at the start of this block, it is Toledo's only exclusively streaming live local newscast. And since you're here, why not check out some of the other exclusive content that we have on WTOL 11? In fact, one of the shows that you can check out this week, Dan Cummins took the reins on Leading Edge to talk about Honor Flight. Of course, Dan has traveled on so many of these, and sitting down and discussing the latest one is something that will definitely grab your attention. So catch Leading Edge next on WTOL 11 Plus. You can watch the full interview in just about 3 minutes. It is streaming right here on WTOL 11 Plus.
Here's a reason to smile tonight. It's almost time for nature's fluffiest beauty pageant.
So to speak, yeah, Fat Bear Week. It's a thing. Kicks off tomorrow at one of Alaska's national parks. It is a bracket-style competition, just like the NCAA tournament, where voters choose their favorite brown bear as they bulk up for hibernation. Photos from early and late summer show just how much weight each bear has gained.
This year's winner will be announced next week on Thursday.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, we know what we're all going to be doing Thursday. Lucas County Canine Care and Control is preparing to move into a new state-of-the-art shelter on Monroe Street, and they're hoping to send more dogs to forever homes before the transition. Adoption fees are being waived through Saturday thanks to a grant from Best Friends Animal Society. Owner surrenders are paused during the move, but adoptions and fostering are encouraged to help ease the transition. The new facility officially opens October 4th, replacing the current Erie Street location.
We are getting a new look at the algae on Lake Erie as it exists right now here in September. The latest data from the National Centers for Coastal Ocean Science show that the cyanobacteria bloom now covers about 70 square miles. It stretches from Maumee Bay north to Stony Point, Michigan. Forecast models track the bloom's movements daily, with conditions expected to persist into next month as warm water fuels the growth. And Chris, we've talked about it over the years as far as rainfall and how that impacts it, but obviously we just haven't had the rain until today.
And the rain goes all the way back to spring because that kind of nutrient loads the riverways and the waterways, and that's what we watch for in the spring, and then we watch for late season heat, much like we've kind of had hot, dry weather, so that will factor in as well. But you felt the change of the seasons today, didn't you?
A little bit.
We were saying it's almost like 2 seasons this entire day, right?
Well, you woke up to summer, and now it's officially autumn.
A little bit more fall. Today, officially, the day started.
It is. Happened just after 2 o'clock today, and next 10 days, this is the first 10 days in autumn, 80 degrees tomorrow. Now, the big issue tomorrow morning is going to be fog that will likely develop. Should be fairly widespread, and it could be locally dense where that fog does develop, and my fear is where it does develop, it may linger through about mid-morning, so it could take several hours for that fog to lift, and then through the afternoon, some peaks of sunshine, some isolated late-day storms. Wednesday, we'll have our best chance of rain. That could limit the overall fog, but it would be wet out the door Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon as well. Some on and off showers and storms. Thursday into Friday could again see the return of fog as we clear the skies out. We'll drop back into the 50s for overnight lows and low 60s and highs into the start of the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday looking outstanding. Another great night for Friday night football games.
And back-to-back weekends, we had the Garmin race yesterday.
Yep.
Conditions absolutely fantastic as far as the start of that race. And obviously, we had the pink ribbon down there on Sunday. You saw it on the 10-day for the Susan